home and finance radio show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries. As we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media, this is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. Again, I share with you, we have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. And let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you, and you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are no operators standing by. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan, a plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Wow, we've got some interesting celebrations for the day today. It is National Bee and Angel Day. I don't know about that one, but we'll continue our search for the specialty of the day. National Surgical Oncologist Day. You got to be very, very thankful for them. National Tooth Fairy Day. You gotta like that one. National Tooth Fairy Day. We've got National Bow Day. That's something in the food world. National Bean Better Day. I think I'm going to have to just stick with National Pecan Torte Day. That's probably where the best opportunity is for me for the day. National Pecan Torte Day. We'll stick with that one there. Hey, let's check the stock market today. What is happening? Hey, can you say roller coaster? Yeah, today's been a heck of a roller coaster, and it's only 9:06 in the morning on the West Coast. So we're watching the Dow Jones Industrial Average. It was up, about 160 points at one point during the day. It was down about 90 points at another point of the day. Right now it's up 40 points. S&P 500 down 4.49. The NASDAQ down 43. Oil, it's off 59 cents a barrel right now as I am speaking to you. Boy, it's been a roller coaster. I'll tell you exactly why that has been happening, and we'll talk about the bond market, which is causing the roller coaster. But first, I want to tell you the national average of a gallon of gasoline, 2.601 here in Calizuela, $3.58.4. The oil-producing state of Hawaii, $365.9. And the cheapest gasoline in the land, drum roll please, at $2.22.4. Louisiana, they're winners right now. They've got the best gas prices. Again, $2.22.4 compared to Calizuela at $3.58.4. Yeah, ouch. Look at the bond market. Germany, they're still at a negative 0.64. Japan, negative 0.24. I think Japan's probably been in the negatives for years now. It's been a long time since they've been able to get any money on a 10-year treasury in Japan. Probably not going to change anytime soon, just because the reason that their economy has been so stagnant for decades now. Haven't been able to get their federal bank to get onto the dime, similar to what the president is talking about with ours. But our U.S. 10-year Treasury, it's at 1.60 is the yield right now. 1.60 on the U.S. 10-year Treasury. We're also looking and seeing the mortgage market survey. It came out this morning. It comes out every Thursday morning. Now remember, don't confuse this one, because yesterday I was sharing with you what the Mortgage Bankers Association had to say. Today we're going to give you the numbers from Freddie Mac. They came out with their mortgage market survey. 3.55 is the average for a 30-year fixed rate loan. You have to pay a half a point to get it. Almost 1 full percentage. Last year, this time, this same week, 4.51. We're at 3.55 right now. Remember, that's for the perfect loan. Most of us do not have the perfect file. And it's not that you're not perfect. It's not that your credit score isn't perfect. But it takes a lot of factors to make it the perfect file based on, I should probably call it the baseline file. It's probably not the perfect file, the baseline file. That would be 40% down payment, 750 FICO score or more. Single family home purchase, no refis here. You know, it's just 40% down on a conforming loan. If you're going to give a 40% down purchase, you know, I have some of our private clients, even in the $1 million range, they're not putting 40% down for the most part. Just throw that out there for you. It's very rare that we see 40% down loans because people that have a lot of money, they realize there's better things to do with their money than to put 40% down. That's just the way it works. Oh, amazing. You just cannot deal with some of these things. Clueless in Seattle is a headline. Seattle residents blame inefficient elected officials for homeless problem. They say they've lost faith in the system. In the summer of 2019, Fox News went and embarked on an ambitious project to chronicle the toll progressive policies have had on the homeless crisis in 4 West Coast cities, Seattle, San Francisco, Los Angeles, and Portland. In each city, we saw a lack of safety, sanitation, and civility. Residents, the homeless, and advocates say they've lost faith in their elected officials' ability to solve the issue. Most of the cities have thrown hundreds of millions of dollars at the problem only to watch it get worse. The money is not the answer, I guess. This is what was seen in the report in Seattle. The richest man in America called Seattle home. So do thousands of others who are forced onto the streets because they are too poor, too addicted, or too detached from reality. At night, the city's homeless sleep wherever they can, in tents crammed in parking garages and parks or under highway overpasses. Some feel victimized by a society that has moved on without them, and whose fault is that? Others feel preyed upon by politicians eager to push pet projects and scattered initiatives that make themselves look good but do little else. Sick of sleeping, overused condoms, broken lighters, and needles, residents say they are heartbroken to see the city they've loved turn into a dangerous, drug-infested den of filth and human misery. Is there any surprise to any of this?
Surprise, surprise, surprise.
Like Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Portland, Seattle's homeless crisis didn't happen overnight. Little by little, the city has succumbed to skyrocketing housing prices, rampant drug use, progressive policies that have made it easy for people to openly feed their addictions and commit crimes, and that have made it hard for the mentally ill to get treated. People say they don't feel safe or protected in places they once did and have lost confidence in their elected leaders. Does this surprise anybody? Have we not been talking about this for quite a while? Nothing really new here to see these policies. But hey, you know something? Keep electing the same people with the same ideas and see if you can get a different response or a different outcome. It's just kind of the way we see it on a regular basis in some of these cities. Doesn't make much sense to me, but I do watch it. I don't understand why some of these places think that things are going to change when they're not willing to change. What else is happening in the morning briefing today? Pentagon very carefully watching China, its number one priority. Defense Secretary Mark Esper tells the news stations China is the Pentagon's number one priority, and the United States is watching Beijing, quote unquote, very carefully in order to safeguard America. Defense Secretary Mark Esper again told the news in his first interview since he was confirmed as Pentagon chief in July. Espy told the news national security correspondent Jennifer Griffin that China has engaged in the greatest theft of intellectual property in human history and is also expanding its military to push the United States out of the Indo-Pacific theater. That's out there in the South, in Asia area. National debt, it keeps on growing. Now at $22 trillion is the number for 2019. Budget agency predicts trillion-dollar deficits for years to come as red ink explodes. That is pushing our expenses onto our children and our grandchildren. Is that really what we want to be doing? I just question that. At what point do we start saying, you know something? We've got to be fiscally responsible for ourselves. Bill Maher fights back after Tlaib suggests boycott of his show over Israel controversy. I would say just boycott Tlaib, but that is just my opinion. Moving on in the daily briefing today, let's continue. The Federal Reserve, they are meeting, a lot of their folks are in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Friday, tomorrow, we will be seeing or hearing some of the conversation of what the Federal Reserve has been talking about at their meeting there in Jackson Hole. I guess they didn't like the idea of being in Washington, D.C. Speaking of Europe, though, a key gauge of the manufacturing sector in Germany showed orders at factories and services companies are dropping at the fastest pace in 6 years, and more companies now expect output to fall than rise over the next 12 months. Not so in France, where the same gauge showed the private sector unexpectedly gained speed in August. Solid performance in the services was complemented by return to growth in manufacturing. U.S. manufacturing PMI is just coming out. We haven't got that number. So I've been here. Can't get the number for you right there. Overnight, the MSCI Asia Pacific Index declined, with Hong Kong shares posting a 0.8% drop, and stocks in China showing modest gains. The Topix index closed little change. Europe's stock 600 index fell after closing higher Wednesday. S&P 500 futures dropped around 0.25%. That was early this morning. I've told you where they are as we speak right now. And you are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, how to negotiate the best price when buying a home. We're going to chat about that. We're going to get in depth today on how to refinance your home when you have bad credit, not stellar credit. Maybe it's a multi-step process. What credit score do I need to buy a house? How to negotiate the best price when buying a house? All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel, and if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams, or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Did you know that banks and credit bureaus are rewarded financially if you have bad credit? And the worse your credit score is, the more money they can make off of you? How does that make you feel, knowing that banks are getting rich off of your hard-earned money? How does it make you feel, knowing that if a bank or a credit bureau makes a mistake on your credit report, they benefit from it and it hurts you? The Fair Credit Report Act of 1971 requires banks and credit bureaus to report only accurate information, and nearly 100% of all credit reports are inaccurate. If you're sick and tired of being broke and tired of being robbed by the banks, you owe it to yourself and to your family to call Rondi. Rondi is a FICO-certified credit professional and has helped thousands of people just like you get out of debt and establish great credit. Rondi's number is 855-608-1990. Again, that's 855-608-1990. Or visit creditsanitizer.com. Again, that website is creditsanitizer.com.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694452.
Are you a veteran, police officer, firefighter, doctor, nurse, or teacher? If so, you qualify as one of Ron Siegel's VIP heroes, and we have rewards up to $5,000 or $10,000 when you buy, sell, or refinance a home with one of the Ron Siegel radio partners. As one of the heroes, real estate agents will rebate part of their commission. Lending partners will give a credit at closing. The title company has special published rates, and many other service providers have incentives too. All you need to do is call Ron Siegel Radio at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit VIPHeroProgram.com. Just think about what you will do with all the rebates and incentives from the partners of Ron Siegel Radio. Just call us at 800-306-1990 so we can show you our appreciation for your service.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Gold Star Mortgage. When you're ready for that next mortgage, first mortgage, any mortgage, Gold Star has the programs. They've got the products, almost everything you could possibly want in the world of home financing, home lending. Gold Star has that available for you. Dow Jones Industrial Average right now is up 65 points. The NASDAQ down 37. S&P 500 down 2.58. How do you square some of these different numbers? The Dow Jones up 60 and the S&P 500 now down 5.43. How could that possibly be? Well, basically what it's telling you is that there's a concentration of positive momentum in the marketplace. And one of the research tools that I use frequently is also telling us that there are more stocks that are moving down than that are moving up. So we're watching that on a very close for you. 10-year U.S. bond, it's up 4 basis points. The mortgage-backed securities, they are down 8 basis points, which means interest rates are up ever so slightly. And if you recall, I did mention to you a little bit that the 30-year fixed-rate loan, 3.55 right now, compared to last year at 4.51. That's according to the Freddie Mac Mortgage Market Survey. They have it on their website. You can see that every Thursday morning. Why is all of this happening? And what has caused the market, the Dow Jones Industrial Average, to be so volatile today? Well, we saw, briefly, we did have an inversion in the yield curve. What the heck does that mean? I mean, that can be kind of scary when you hear an inversion in the yield curve, right? That, people don't understand it. So a lot of things that we don't understand,
it is what it is.
We don't like. So the inversion in the yield curve, in many instances, people say, well, that's going to forecast a recession. Now, you have to really square some of these things because a lot of the talking heads are saying there's a recession coming. Well, we've been in a growth for about 10 years now. So at some point in time, they are going to be correct. There will be a recession. Will it be this year? Will it be next year? Will it be the year after? We don't know that answer. Nobody can give you that answer. But there will be a recession. It just the way it works. They always come at some point in time. The yield curve usually says, okay, at somewhere in 6 to 12 months is when we're going to see that. But wait a second, we've got an election next year, and we've got a Federal Reserve chairman that is very focused on no recession on his watch. So how does all that stuff play out for us? Well, the Fed, they're in Jackson this weekend, or this week, the end of the week. The Jackson Hole Economic Symposium kicks off with several Fed presidents and governors set to speak throughout the day. The key will be Fed Chair Jerome Powell's speech tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock California time. Stocks are higher once again. Mortgage bonds slightly lower so far. Speaking of the Fed, Kansas City Fed President Esther George said this morning that a Fed rate cut was not necessary at the last meeting. She looks to be another dissenter next month, along with Eric Rosengren. Esther said with his very low unemployment rate, with wages rising and the inflation rate staying close to the Fed's target, I think we're in a good place relative to the mandates that we're asked to achieve. There were 209,000 individuals that filed for unemployment benefits for the first time last week, 12,000 less than the previous week, and 7,000 stronger than expectations. Remember that unlike some of the other reports, the lower the count of claims, the stronger the report, as we would like to see less people being laid off and filing for unemployment. Claims have been behaving and have remained low as the pace of firings has been muted. This was the sample week that is considered in the jobs report, estimates and modeling, so it does hold more weight than usual. And this was strong level of claims, which will contribute to a solid jobs report September 6th. Hard to believe the summer is almost already gone. Unbelievable. But that is the Mortgage Minute, brought to you again by our friends at Gold Star Mortgage. When you're ready for that next mortgage, Gold Star has the programs and the products. You just need to make the phone call. 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990. So this morning I wanted to chat with you in depth. Yesterday we spoke a little bit about this, and I get so many questions on certain topics that I say, okay, you know something, we've got to really dive into this a little bit deeper, spend a little bit more time, and deal with it a little bit more complete. And one of the topics that I constantly get is dealing with credit. We're constantly discussing credit on Ron Siegel Radio. One of the most important and common topics we have is how to refinance with bad credit. Refinancing a loan involves paying your existing mortgage loan off and replacing it with a different loan. A refinance can net a different interest rate and term. A lower interest rate might lower your payments. A shorter term might let you pay the new loan off faster than the previous one, which means you end up paying less in the long run. Another benefit can be to switch from an adjustable rate mortgage, also known as an ARM, to a fixed rate loan for a lower and or more predictable interest rate, or vice versa. Now, right now, there's not a whole lot of price difference between the adjustable rate mortgages and the fixed rate mortgages. So you really have to be careful. Does it make sense to do that for you and for your family? Now, if you're going to do this as part of a process, as far as a game plan that I'll talk to you about in just a minute, it might make sense to do it that way. You have to just think about what you're trying to accomplish. Qualifying to refinance, just like qualifying for a new mortgage, requires you to get approved for the loan. Your credit worthiness affects your chances of approval and the interest rate you can qualify for. The better your credit, the better your chances of approval and of getting a good interest rate. Qualifying to refinance with bad credit, though, just like qualifying for a new mortgage with bad credit, is not impossible. There are available options, even with their less than perfect credit. What are the options to refinance with bad credit? The cutoff to qualify for a conventional fixed-rate home loan is about 620 on a conventional. Remember, I said conventional. The cutoff for Federal Housing Administration, FHA-backed mortgages, as low as 580. There are some places that might go even lower. The cutoff for refinancing, about 620, really considered a poor score and not bad, which is 600 or less. There are programs that will go down to 500. For a refinance, additional factors to your credit score play into whether or not you may get approved. Some of these factors also affect a new mortgage, but others only apply or hold more weight in a refinance. These factors include the equity you have in your home, the debt-to-income ratio, or DTI, your loan-to-value, also known as LTV. This is your mortgage divided by your home's value after you refinance. How much cash you have in the bank, such as in savings accounts, the type of mortgage you already have, the conventional FHA, VA, adjustable rate, USDA. The magic as to whether you can qualify to refinance is in the mix of these factors. So the mix of the FICO score, the loan-to-value, the debt-to-income ratio, and what's referred to as reserves or cash in hand. When your LTV, loan-to-value, is greater than 80%, you have to pay private mortgage insurance in most instances. An FHA simple refinance allows an LTV up to 97.75, but that's going to be on the straight refinance. That's not on the cash out. If you're trying to cash out or do some debt reconsolidation, that's a different number. When you refinance your home with poor or bad credit, you're not going to qualify for the best terms and conditions. So if you're looking to refinance to get a lower interest rate and your credit is poor, want to calculate if a particular offer will put you in a better position than you're in now, particularly if you're looking into traditional refinances. Here's a few of the major options available for people with poor or bad credit. Refinance an FHA loan. If you have an existing FHA loan, you have a few different options to refinance. The advantages of refinancing an FHA loan through an FHA program include more lenient qualifying guidelines and other mortgage refinance programs. With any FHA refinance option, you want to have made your payments on time and in full for the last 12 months. There is the FHA Streamline Refinance. If you have an FHA loan and you made your payments on time for the last year, you may be able to refinance your loan to a lower rate and lower monthly payments. With the FHA Streamline Refinance program, here's the program. It does not have to verify your income or check your credit, requires less paperwork than some refinances, has simple eligibility requirements, does not look at the debt-to-income ratio if you are in good standing with your current FHA loan, may not require an appraisal, is limited to an amount no greater than your current loan's original amount without an appraisal, and has minimal closing costs. This program is a good option if the value of your home is about the same as it was when you first bought it, or you plan to move soon and don't want to pay closing costs on a refi. The FHA Simple Refi. The FHA Simple Refinance lets you refinance your existing FHA loan into a new adjustable rate or fixed rate loan. This option does require income verification, a credit check, and a home appraisal. It's a good option if you have some equity built up in your home and to refi affordably and you want to pay a lower interest rate. This option is particularly valuable if you want to refi into a fixed rate loan. The FHA Cash Out Refinance. The FHA Cash Out program is available to people with credit scores as low as 580. Some lenders may want a score of 600 or higher, though. This program has a maximum loan to value of 85%. That's changing, so be careful of that number right now. You won't be able to qualify if you still owe a lot more on your home. You'll need at least 15% equity, going up to 20%. The FHA Cash Out Refinance program is the only program of the three included here that lets you get cash of more than $500 on top of your refinance. To learn more about refinancing an FHA loan, you can contact any mortgage professional that offers these kinds of loans. I am partial to the team at Gold Star Mortgage. You can call 800-306-1990. We're going to talk more about VA, USDA refinancing, and others when we come back. We'll also talk about 5 easy steps to avoid overwhelm from media overload. That is going to be a massive topic today. We're going to be seeing a lot of that coming out in the future. The media is just going crazy with what's happening in the marketplace, and most of them are not giving the best advice. They're giving advice that sells well. What credit score do I need to buy a house? We'll talk about all that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. On Twitter, @Ron Siegel. And remember, if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Siegel Lending Team offers you buying power. Let's say you can afford a monthly mortgage payment, including principal and interest, of around $1,900. With today's rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage of 3.75%, APR 3.85%, that payment could support a $416,000 mortgage. But if you wait and rates tick up to around 6.5%, which is roughly the average home mortgage rate over the past 30 years, that same $1,900 mortgage payment, including principal and interest, may only be able to support a $314,000 mortgage. That's over $100,000 worth of home you're missing out on by waiting. That's buying power. All you need to do to get started is reach out to the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Payment example excludes taxes and insurance. Call us for full details, 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 or SiegelLendingTeam.com. Equal housing lender, licensed under NMLS number 217037.
Are you purchasing or own a luxury home? If you're like so many others, your home is your largest asset and the mortgage is your largest debt. The Siegel lending team has some amazing financing opportunities right now. Jumbo loans up to $2 million, 30-year rates below 4%, 15-year rates near 3.5%, and if you can believe it, 7-year interest-only hybrids in low 3s. The Siegel lending team has all the options for your jumbo or second home loan requirements. Take advantage of them while you can. To learn more about all the other financing products available from the Siegel lending team, call 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Again, call 1-800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender.
Homeowners that are 62 and older are about to find out a great way to live a better retirement. It's called a reverse mortgage, and SLT can help you learn more. Call the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990 right now to receive your free booklet with no obligation. It answers questions like how a reverse mortgage works, how much you qualify for, the ways to receive your money, and more. When you call the experts at Siegel Lending Team today, you'll learn the benefits of a government-insured reverse mortgage, how it will eliminate your monthly mortgage payments, and give you tax-free cash from the equity in your home. Here's the best part. You still own your home. Now is the best time to take control of your retirement. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 to get your free brochure. Call today or visit our website at SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or simply call 800-306-1990.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message. I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990, the real-time real estate segment today. Being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text NEST, N-E-S-T, to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. And if you're already in your dream home, hey, how about checking out, get the information that the county recorder has on that home. All you have to do is text SLT Home Digest. SLT Home Digest to 79564. No spaces in there. SLT Home Digest to 79564. Get signed up there. It's just a couple of things. Both services are totally free as a listener to Ron Siegel Radio. 5 easy steps to avoid overwhelm from media overload when someone is thinking about buying or selling a home. They want to be well informed. They want to make the right decision for themselves and their family. They scour the internet for any information they can find about the housing market. Today there is an abundance of information available. It is often conflicting news. It can easily lead to confusion and concern, perhaps even causing a potential buyer or seller to cancel their plans to move altogether. Instead, the best things to do are sit down and take a deep breath. In a recent article, Jeff Davidson, a recognized speaker on the subject of productivity, explained, I quote, "The pace at which new information arrives will accelerate every day. Too often, the reflex to take action only exacerbates your time pressure problems. Do not bite off more than you can chew and acknowledge that often. The wisest response to too much competition for your time and attention is to simply slow down and assess the best way to proceed," unquote. To that point, here is an easy 5-step process to follow if all of this information seems overwhelming. Number 1, calm down. Don't let the confusion lead to concern or panic. Number 2 is slow down. As Davidson suggests, just slow down to assess. Number 3, think. Remember, the reasons you wanted to move in the first place, are they still important? Number 4, plan. Determine whether or not the new information should change anything. If you need further clarification on some points, reach out to a real estate professional in your area for a better understanding. And number 5, after thorough consideration, feel good about your decision whether you decide to move or not. The bottom line, Do not let the plethora of seemingly conflicting information on the housing market stop you from moving forward with your life. Let's get together to ensure you get the valuable counsel you need so you can make the right decision for you and your family. That is the Real-Time Real Estate segment, again brought to you by the area-trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text NEST, N-E-S-T, to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. And if you're in your dream home, hey, you know something? SLT Home Digest will tell you everything the county recorder knows about your house, as well as some market data that we put together for you. SLT Home Digest, no spaces. Text SLT Home Digest to 79564. Find your dream home. Again, before someone else does, and get all the information about it. We were talking before the break how to refinance with bad credit. The VA and USDA both have options for refinancing as well. Both the VA and the USDA offer refinance options for their loans. The VA offers two refinance programs. One is the interest rate reduction refinance loan program. That's available to vets that already have VA-backed home loans and is ideal for lowering your interest rates. The VA cash-out refinance program can be used with either a VA or conventional loan to use the home's equity as collateral on a new loan to get cash in hand. To qualify for either VA refinance option, you need to have served on active military duty or have a credit score of 620 or higher. The USDA offers its own USDA Streamline Assist Refinance and USDA Streamline Refinance programs. The USDA Streamline Assist Refinance program is most similar to the FHA Streamline Refinance program. Does not require a new appraisal, doesn't calculate your debt-to-income ratio, is available if you have little or no equity in your home. The USDA Streamline Refinance and non-Streamline, easy for me to say today, holy cow. The USDA Streamline Refinance and non-Streamline Refinance programs are similar to the FHA Streamline Refinance and VA IRRL programs. To qualify, you have to be current on your USDA loan for the last 6 months, borrow no more than the original loan value, and meet the USDA's loan income and credit eligibility requirements. The non-Streamline Refinance program requires an appraisal. The Streamline Refinance does not. Other options to refinance with poor or bad credit. If you have a poor or bad credit score, you won't get a traditional lender's best terms, and you may not even qualify. To qualify, you'll have to meet the lender's loan-to-value requirements even. Your home equity will likely need to be at least 20% equity, and your credit score will need to be no lower than 620. If you have a lower score, consider shopping around. Just be sure to vet any lender and its refinancing requirements carefully before filling out any applications. You don't want to risk putting a hard inquiry on your score. That's not a real big deal, especially if you've already got low credit. It's not going to really hurt you. The idea here is you might need to get on a game plan to get your credit score improved. Working with your current mortgage company, since you're a current customer, it may be more willing to work with you, and it may have its own version of streamline refinancing, or be willing to work with you on a different term or rate. Approaching a credit union. Credit unions are sometimes more willing to help those with poor credit. In order to secure a good relationship, if you're not already a member, consider becoming a member before investigating a refi with the credit union. Improving your credit score before you apply to refinance. Learn more about that by giving us a call at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. What to do before you refinance your mortgage? There are a few things you should consider before you refinance your mortgage. If you have bad credit or less than perfect credit, it's in your best interest to improve your score. I like to send folks to myfico.com, and you can get a copy of your credit report. See what's on there, see if it's accurate. If it's not a good score, if you're not proud of that score, give me a call at 800-306-1990. We'll look over it together. We'll see what makes sense for you, what makes sense for your family. I'll put you in touch with our friend Jeff Sipes over at creditsanitizer.com. His company name is Blue Water Credit, and they'll help you to get your credit score corrected. In most instances, it's a matter of correcting the credit score to get the score improved. It's not a matter of doing a whole lot of other things. Now, you may have some bad stuff on your report. They may not be in error, but there's so many times there are errors in there that you just want to look at this to make sure it makes sense for you and your family. You are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, what credit score do you need to buy a house? You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Connect with us, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We're going to be back in just a few.
Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Most businesses struggle to get the online reviews they need to get a competitive edge over their competition. Rex is a brand new technology that uses text messages to direct happy clients to your online review sites, Zillow, Google, Facebook, and Yelp, and unhappy clients to a private survey, so businesses can win more customers. Try Rex today by going to www.meetrex.com.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed-rate loan below 4.25% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $295,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,400 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or 1-800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
Do you have a goal of mortgage-free home ownership? What if your home was valued at $500,000? Are you aware that a free and clear home could be costing you $2,500 every month, $30,000 per year? The mortgage planners at the Siegel Lending Team would like to show you how you can own your home, generate tax-free income, and accumulate family wealth. You simply need to call the Ron Siegel Team at 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990. By sending the team a copy of your most recent mortgage statement, the team will send you a no-obligation real estate plan. You be the judge if this is right for your family. Again, all you have to do is send the team a copy of your mortgage statement by email to reap@ronsiegelradio.com or call today. Ron Siegel, 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990.
Rate subject to change and without notice. Licensed by the California DOC and BRENLS 217037 and 145502 and Cal BRE 0186945 and 1866775.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions, as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990. The Your Credit Matters segment today being brought to you by CreditSanitizer.com. You have a credit report. It is wrong. What are you doing about it? Credit Sanitizer has the solutions for you. You just need to give us a call at 800-306-1990. Put you in touch with Jeff Sipes and his team over at Credit Sanitizer. As I've shared with you in the past, Jeff's company name, Blue Water Credit, they will be the ones that will help you to increase that credit score by correcting the errors on your report. That's the idea right there. What credit score do I need to buy a house? That's our subject today. Knowing your credit score is a good idea for many reasons. MyFICO.com is the source for that. Everything from qualifying for a credit card or an auto loan to getting utility services or renting an apartment can be impacted by how good your credit score is. Buying a house is no different, and knowing the credit score needed to buy a house is an important first step in your home ownership. Your credit score helps determine the interest rate and other costs you pay on a mortgage loan. If your credit scores are high, it tells lenders that you've paid your credit card bills on time, haven't maxed out your credit cards, and so on. Lenders see you as likely to pay your loan payments consistently and on time. They see you as a low-risk investment and offer you a lower interest rate and other costs on your loan. If your score is lower, lenders see you as a risky investment, and if they approve you for a loan at all, will charge you a higher interest rate in exchange for taking on your perceived risk. Your credit score is a number that represents where your credit profile stands. Different credit models give slightly different scores, but each is based on certain factors that look at how you do and have used credit. Credit cards, loans, etc. Imagine your friends ask to borrow money. Assuming you had the money to loan, you might ask yourself, did he pay me back the last time he borrowed money? Did he pay me back the full amount on time? If the answer to those questions is yes, chances are you loan your friend the money. If the answer to any of those questions is no, you may not want to loan your friend money, or you may only do so with certain conditions in place. To lenders, like mortgage lenders, a good or excellent credit score equal yes answers to these type of questions on your ability and likelihood of paying your home loan on time and consistently. A low credit score and poor credit reports equal no answers to just those types of questions, and the lender may not want to loan you money or only be willing to do so with certain conditions and safeguards in place. Most lenders have a baseline credit score they use to approve or deny mortgage applications. Any score in the 700s or above is considered excellent and will most likely get you a loan with the lowest interest rate. There are price breaks at 720, 750, but again, over 700 is a number that will probably get you where you want to be. When your scores drop into the 600s, you start to be seen as a potential risk for loaning money to. A score of 680, for example, is still considered good, but when you get below 660, some lenders start saying, no thanks. For others, 640 or 620 is the line at which consideration for a better mortgage loan program may be off the table. It all depends on that particular lender and their required qualifications. So many times when you hear a lender say, well, you don't qualify, they forget those simple words, you do not qualify with us. There still might be a program that you qualify for, and that might be something that they don't want to talk about. That's just the issue that every lender has their own thresholds. So just be aware of that part of it. So again, it's you don't qualify with them. Scores, cutoff points, conventional fixed rate mortgage, other types of mortgages such as FHA or VA are easy to get, even designed for borrowers with credit scores as low as 500. Once your credit score drops into the 500s, you are a candidate for a bad credit home loan, or what the industry calls a subprime loan. Subprime loans have interest rates that are a couple of percentage points higher than those offered to prime borrowers. Subprime loans also often come with additional fees. For example, with a lower credit score, you'll likely pay a 3/8 higher interest rate than the average 30-year fixed-rate mortgage compared to someone with a credit score over 700. If the 30-year primary mortgage rate is 3.875, someone with a good credit score might pay 4 1/8 in interest, 0.25% above the primary rate, and you'll pay 4.5 maybe. Your monthly payment, again, will be anywhere from $83 each month. You know, it varies depending upon the amount of the loan on each individual program. Private mortgage insurance might be a little bit higher. You might have to go to, that's PMI, you might have to go to what they call MIP, which is the mortgage insurance premium on the FHA loan. How do you improve bad credit? Sometimes that's the issue that we need to talk about, is let's deal with the game plan. The game plan might be that we have to get the credit score up to help you. I frequently will suggest to people, get into the property, then work the game plan, then refinance into a better loan. And why do I say that? It's not because I lead a lending team and that's how we make money is by doing loans. It's because it's about you, not about us. We do a lot of loans. We have no problem with that. The idea is it's about you, because if you're in that property, in most instances, within the sound of my voice, the property is appreciating. You want to get into the game. You're paying rent to somebody else that's doing absolutely no good for you. So the idea here is start working on getting your credit score enhanced and go to work that way. While your property's appreciating, right? So you buy the house with the poor credit, higher interest rate, still qualify for it. So you're obviously able to make that payment. Find a service that, like our friends over at Blue Water Credit, where they'll help you correct your credit score and they'll give you some education on how to increase that score. Get the score up, refinance into a more attractive loan, but at the same time, you've been developing equity. So if you can put an extra, even make the payments on time is the first thing, but maybe you can make an extra $100 a month payment on that loan, and you'll have even more equity. You might be able to get into a better loan. You might be able to get into a no mortgage insurance loan or lower the mortgage insurance. All of those things are options. If you know your credit scores will hurt your ability to get a conventional mortgage or affect your rate, an FHA, Federal Housing Administration loan, may be an option for you. FHA loans have easier underwriting standards for buyers who have small down payments, low credit scores, or both. There are many instances where it's the right program for somebody that even has a high credit score. The minimum FICO credit score for an FHA loan is 500 or higher. There are some investors that will not accept that low credit score, but some investors will, so you just have to know what you're doing, or again, give a call to our team at 800-306-1990. If your score is at least 580, you also need at least a 3.5% down payment. You can still get approved for an FHA loan with a credit score lower than 580 and down to 500, but you'll need a larger down payment of at least 10%. A few more house buying tips. If you're in the process of choosing a lender, getting pre-qualified for a mortgage loan, there are several things you can do to begin the process on the right foot. First off, gather your financial documents. First, your mortgage lender is going to want to see certain financial records and documents. This is especially true of borrowers with bad credit. To fulfill this requirement, you want to get as organized as possible before applying for that mortgage loan. You're going to need tax returns. You're going to need pay stubs, bank statements, W-2s, 1099s. If you've gone through a bankruptcy, you'll need those documentation. If you've got a short sale, you'll need that documentation. All these different things are part of the process. You might need a co-signer for the loan. That's an option for you. Find out where your credit stands is the first step. As I've shared with you before, I am a big fan of myfico.com. Myfico.com is that's what I use myself to watch what my credit score is doing. I do it on a regular basis to watch what my score is doing. I actually get an update on my phone every single day, sometimes 3 or 4 times a day, finding out what my score is and what I need to do to enhance that score, to maximize the score. So that's just a little tip for you right there. And as always, I ask, Set that first radio preset button to come back here every day to join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to John, who's engineering us today, and of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We will talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.